What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of JR's Corner. This is episode 25. This episode is sponsored by Marty's Gymnasium. Guys, very special episode we have here today. This guy is a friend of the show. He was actually on my number three or four of JR's Corner, one of my very first interviews. Paralympic Shot-putter, bronze medalist at the World Champs 2023. Tokyo finalist at the 2021 Paralympic Games. And guys, this guy is just a humble gent, a champion, a true professional, Mr. Kerwin Noemdo. What's up, man?
Thanks, Jar. Thanks for having me. Nice to be back.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Good to see you. Look good.
Yeah, feeling healthy, feeling fresh, feeling
Nice.
strong, hopefully.
Look strong, sir. You look strong.
Thank you. I
Nice.
appreciate it.
All the hard work that you put in.
Yes, we've been putting in hard work in the gym and as well as on the field. But I feel good. The season looks like it's on track for a good one.
Nice. So, Kerwin, I know we had a conversation before. You sat down with me. We broke some bread. We had a good chat. Just tell me. Just give the viewers that didn't see that episode. We'll throw the link into the description for the ones that want to go back and check it out. Just give us a bit of a brief background, Kerwin. You growing up.
Just briefly grew up in a sporting family like most of us. Played mainstream sports all my life: cricket, rugby, soccer at school, up until matric, and then obviously during high school got introduced to Paralympic sport or sport for the disabled at the time. And then from there just focused on my athletics more after school, and the rest is history, as they say.
Sure. Yeah. Now, beautiful, man. Beautiful. So you were saying doing sport as we all do, but for you it's a little bit different. As a child being differently abled. Just how was that? Growing up. Being you are different. But I know your parents didn't treat you, and your family never treated you any different. I think that was your big advantage. Amongst the other kids. How was that as a child? Just adapting to knowing, hey, I am different, but I'll just keep on. I'll just keep on going as the rest of us.
Yeah, like you said, my parents didn't treat me any differently.
Yeah.
Also grew up with a close-knit group of cousins. Lived close by, five boys, close together. So we had a lot of play outside, sports in the street, rough play. But yeah, I never knew I was quote unquote disabled until I went to preschool or creche, and that's when you as a child you even pick up the stares and the looks and the questions. But I didn't think too much of it. I know you like me to mention this until I think I was 5 years old or 6 years old. I was playing on the jungle gym like any child does, while my grandpa was waiting for me. And one of the other boys was climbing up a tree, and he said, "You can't climb as high as me because of your arm." And my immediate response was, "Watch me, I can." And then I went higher than him.
Sure.
And then went down. My grandpa told the story to my mom, and I think ever since then I knew there was something special brewing inside.
Yeah. Amazing. Kerwin. The thing is that story it resonates with me, man. And it's powerful. It's really powerful for anybody. I mean, in what you do as a profession, and I mean anyone that watches this, able-bodied, differently able, doesn't matter. It's a powerful story, and I picture that. I actually went further, and I went to go look for a video of a boy climbing a tree just to see it, physically in my mind or in my eyes. Kerwin. So growing up, schooling, where did you go to school, that type of thing, and did you do different sports as well?
So I went to Excelsior Primary School. That's where my sporting journey really started. And then high school, I came down the road. I went to Paul Roos, which was brilliant. I wouldn't exchange those 5 years for anything. But on school, I was your typical student in a boys' school. I was rugby crazy, so and my family was rugby crazy. So I played rugby from grade 8 until matric. Yeah, also had its challenges obviously because I was much smaller than I am now. So I was playing fullback or sometimes center, but I was in the back line. So for the back line player and a fullback with one arm, it wasn't always easy. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I flourished. And yeah, it was a nice chapter of my life.
Sure, beautiful, man. So you say you played a bit of center as well?
Yes,
Is
a
it
couple of games inside center.
inside,
So, yeah.
like a crash balls or
Distribution, more Luke
distribution?
McAllister type of man, Nonu type of player. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I would like to think.
The reason why I was, I actually got a message when I mentioned that you'll be on the show. Somebody said, I don't know if you know this fella. I think he's mates of your brother, AJ. AJ.
Yes.
Yes. AJ, I played with him a bit recently. Got to know him. He said that you were brilliant center. Brilliant center. That's why we had to stop at the center play. Yeah, so obviously sport plays a big role in your life. That's how you found the passion, for doing shot put, and getting involved in the para sport. Um, when you started with the para sport conditioning, and the mindset, I'm not sure if you knew you were gonna reach the levels that you attained, where you are now. Um, what was the defining factors for you, in terms of conditioning firstly and technical, and the role players, coming through?
So I actually started para sport as like I said, I was much smaller on school. So I started off as a sprinter actually.
Okay.
I did 100 meters, 200 meters.
Wat was die tyd geweest, man?
I wasn't too bad, not too bad, but we don't
lekker.
have to mention that. Yeah, so I started off as a sprinter.
Okay.
100, 200,
Sure.
long jump, and then I did shot put as extra.
Okay.
But then that was like when I was 14. But
Yeah.
by the time, I think the defining moment for me was when I was 17 years old. I got the chance to represent South Africa for the first time at the international games in Sharjah in the UAE for shot put and discus. So that's when the thought on the back of my head came in, what, maybe something, opportunity might arise from para sport. So it's something I need to look in. But that was my grade 11 year. So obviously in my matric year, I was still playing a bit of rugby. But at the end of that grade 11 year, I started focusing or shifting my focus a bit more to shot put and in terms of the future, being able to study because of athletics, being able to travel the world because of athletics, and obviously representing my country because of para sport. So that's when the shift started. So conditioning wise, still doing a lot of speed work when I started the sport, which helped with the rugby. But then as I got older, shifted more to the throwing side of things, and then started working more on becoming a strength athlete and throwing things far.
Nah, sweet, man, sweet. So into obviously, I know we touched on the conditioning. Some of the guys that worked with you, and obviously we're sitting here in the Marty's gym studio. I know Marty's has some involvement with you as well. Maybe just break that down a bit. If we can just touch on a bit of the HP. How the high performance center in the gym, the contribution it has towards your athletics, and the coaches the guys that the ander wat jy deurgegaan het. I know you've went through a few conditioning coaches until the coach that you have now, obviously with the technical side, Coach Danny. Just give us a bit of a rundown and what you, obviously, I know you're athletic coach as well. So what you've learned, so it's actually it's a 3-part question, but if you can just break that down for me.
Yeah, so I started gymming at Marty's gym back in 2010, I think, end of 2010.
Yeah.
When there was still called SASPI at the time. Back then I was working with Melissa Hillhouse. I think she's Melissa Pinar now. But yeah, like you said, what's that, 14 years since I've been at Marty's gym. So I've been through a couple of SNCs. Melissa, Andre, Smira, Nico, and Zoo, and now with Llewellyn. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey for me, and I've learned a lot through the years. I mean, you can't be working with the SNC one-on-one for so long and not pick up on
100%.
trends or not being able to, what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
But specifically speaking about Marty's Gym, I think the high performance center for me is where the majority of my work gets done.
Yeah.
It's a good space for your elite athletes,
Yeah.
for their groundwork, their foundation, and
Yeah.
I get to do my major lifts there. I can do some throws against the wall,
Yeah.
and all my accessories. So it's almost like my third home after the circle on the track. The HB center or the HB area is like my third home, and I'm a creature of habit. So whenever I step into other facility or if we travel overseas and I must gym somewhere else, it's a bit uncomfortable for me because I'm so used to the gym and I have everything I need at this gym. But I love it and I won't change it for the world.
Nice, sweet man, sweet. That's really that's amazing. And just before we move on, Marty's Gym contribution that they place towards you in terms of sponsorship. I know that you guys have a bit of a agreement going on. What does that mean to you, and obviously how does that benefit you, for your career?
Yeah, no, I'm truly grateful for the assistance and the help that comes from Marty's Gym. South Africans parasport is in a very difficult situation in the country where, yes, we do get some sort of assistance, but it's not to the level of our competitors. So obviously, to compete against full-time professional athletes, and you still have to do other things on the side, makes it a bit difficult. So the assistance from Marty's Gym helps a lot. It gives you that. It helps in giving you the peace of mind to you can not worry about
certain things,
financial burdens to a full extent, and focus on your training, focus on your recovery, and that's the difference between your bronze medal or your gold medal and your 5th or 6th place. So it's helping a lot, and I can put my mind fully on training.
No, that's beautiful, man. Like, and I mean, we that was actually part and parcel of the conversation we had before. We were speaking about, obviously para sports, keep taking the back seat, and you obviously have, at that time, I don't even think you had a sponsor, there wasn't anything on board yet, anyone on board. So I'm happy. I mean, it's been about a few months later, say about a year or later, and there's a few things in place now, not there where we wanted to be yet, we're waiting for a few role players jumping on board as well. But that's beautiful, man, to hear. You touched on something that I actually want to ask you about the mental space, man. As a professional athlete, how did you? I know you said there was a period when you made the shift, mentally to say, listen, you're focusing on this, you in this 100%. But how is that from being quote unquote amateur athlete, into the mindset of a pro, because your focus is basically it's your studies, home time, and your coaching. How was that shift, that mental shift?
Yeah, so I think I have to take it back like a few years. So when I was getting into the sport and I went to my first world champs, I was still studying, and so yes, I was doing athletics, but it wasn't, like you said, the sole focus of everything I was doing. And then after graduating with my first degree, which is obviously what your parents want you to have a degree.
So before you go on, there's more than one degree. If you say your first degree.
Yeah, I have an honors degree and then another postgrad diploma. So then I was, you can say, kind of an amateur thrower because I was still studying at the time. After graduating, I then had the conversation with my parents and told them, okay, I've got a degree now. I would like to focus a couple of years on just making it to the Paralympics. Put my sole focus in that, and obviously there's sacrifices that come with that. So it's you're putting your head on a chopping block, in so to say, because you put everything else on hold, focusing on getting to the Paralympics, and then COVID happened before Tokyo. So sitting with a degree but no job, COVID. Not sure if the almost by the ice. Not sure if the Paralympics is going to go ahead or not, and that's when the anxiety and all of that stuff creeps in because I mean, you decided to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
But then the world throws you this curveball. But that for me, what helped me with that mental, I want to say dark mental time, that tough mental time.
Yeah, you can say it. Like the thing is, this is a safe space where you can talk about. I'll tell you about what happened with me also. With the time of air.
So yeah, there was a tough mental time during COVID, obviously. But then my faith really pulled me through because I had a lot of time. So I went, put my head in the Bible, had some quiet time, and then I was just led by the Spirit and be like, this is your calling.
Yeah.
Carry on, keep working.
No doubt.
Hou aan, kap aan, keep working on it, and went to the Paralympics. And after that, that's when things started getting better. You know, support started coming in. My coaching started to grow. Could kind of make a living from athletics, not just my sport, but my coaching.
Yes.
So that's when that all your eggs in one basket really pays dividends. But you have it's not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. But and that's aside from the competition pressure, which is another mental aspect.
Yeah. Nah, beautiful, man. Like, I know. I know. COVID was a rough time for everyone. Even if you did sports or not sports, normal people working. But I mean, that time you were sitting with a degree. It's just a thing of you. There was an opportunity to work yet. So I think you were actually in a better space than than many people. In that situation. But nah, man, Kerwin, that's really like the fact that you stuck with your guns, man, and your family supported you. That's beautiful, man. And to see that and obviously you're not at your peak yet. You're still getting it. We're still going for the gold medal this year. So that's that. I know that's the goal. It has to be the goal. Working towards the Paris 2024. So just your preparation also. Before we go on to the preparation, you mentioned yourself as a coach. This is actually a question I wanted to ask you as an athlete. So obviously you getting coached. You have a coach. You have guys working with you. You as a coach, is there different things that you see your athletes do? Maybe a few things technically that they maybe do wrong that you recognize in yourself, things that you might have forgotten. Or how is that that difference between athlete and coach?
Yeah, no, it's not easy. It's difficult. Coach Danny used to say he had a rule back in the day where his top athletes are not allowed to coach because it interferes with your own throwing. So it's difficult, but I think that's where I'm one of the few, and I didn't say it myself, so I will just reiterate what someone else said. Where I'm one of the few athletes who are still a good coach because I can separate the two. So my athletes don't have my technique. They don't rotate like me.
Yeah.
I don't force my technique on them. Each athlete has their own individual ways of getting the job done. So I think that's why I pride myself in having an individual technical model for all of my athletes. And not try and stay one blanket statement or blanket technique over everyone. But it does get tough because there are times when if the afternoon before I was coaching and I was working on one or two things specifically with the athlete, the next morning when I get to my throwing session, I'm making the same mistakes. And then I'm always commenting to myself like, can't you just do what you tell your athletes to do? So it's difficult. But yeah, that's why the start of the season or the start of the year for me is quite difficult as an athlete because all my athletes have their major competitions early in the year. So my mind and my energy is solely focused on them. So it's tough for me. But luckily our major comps like World Champs or Paralympics are late in the year where theirs die down a bit. So I can be a bit more selfish and focus on my own achievements.
Okay, beautiful, man. And you know what? The reason why I was that because I've heard that obviously many times, especially coaches. You don't get many rugby coaches that still play, that type of thing. But with athletics coaches, man, I'm pretty sure that could become the case. But how many para coaches, I would say, what was a differently able coaches are there actually? Is there many that coach able-bodied athletes? And
No, there's not many. If I must I think locally or provincially, myself obviously with the throws.
Yeah.
And I know at Stellenberg High, where ex-Paralympian is in charge of athletics, he
Okay.
has a couple of para-athletes doing, I think, long jump and javelin.
Yeah, yeah.
Ex-athletes, not current
Okay.
athletes.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think there's many differently abled people, individuals who coach able-bodied athletes. I can't think of a lot. Like I said, besides the Stellenberg guy.
Okay.
There might be a couple of other up north, but there's definitely not a lot.
Okay, nice. So you definitely a specialist in what you do, and yeah, no, that's amazing, man. Something else you touched on, your recovery. I know as a professional athlete, the recovery is super vital, very important. Just give us a brief run through your recovery regime. I know you were saying you're drinking some special drinks there in your bottle. What's your recovery process post training?
Yeah, so recovery is still one of the stuff that I know I can improve a lot on.
Yeah.
But generally for me, it's stretching after training session, after gym session, usually because I'm throwing and then gym after each other.
Yeah.
So stretching for me is a big thing, foam rolling,
Yeah.
and a weekly sauna.
Okay.
I think the sauna helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as well as I know people are on the cold plunge craze.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel for me, if I over a weekend, I don't need to make it like a fixed thing. But if I over a weekend, if I can go early morning to the ocean or step into the ocean nice and early when it's cold, then that revitalizes me and makes me feel fresh for the next morning. But sleep, nutrition, and sleep, nutrition, sauna is for me the most important.
Nice.
In terms of recovery.
Lekker. And Kerwin in his free time, I know you see the professional guy, an athlete. What do you do in your free time? What do you like to do? I know you have a partner, a fiance.
Yeah, so if I was a professional athlete, I would have a bit more free time.
Yeah.
The coaching takes a lot of my free time away.
Yeah.
But in my free time, I like playing golf in my free time if it's not
Nice.
too close to competitions. Otherwise, just spending, like you said, quality time with my fiance, catching up on series I miss in the week, going out to wine farms or to restaurants, and just spending some downtime, resetting the body, resetting the mind for the week ahead.
Nice. Nah, lekker, man. That sounds like a fairly chilled, normal. You don't go skydiving and bungee jumping, all that kind of crazy
I
stuff.
think if I come back after an adventurous outing and have an injury, I don't think my coach and my SNC would be too happy with that. So I keep it down, rustig, nice and chilled.
Voet op je grond, lekker easy.
Until the off season, then we can maybe try something.
Okay, Kerwin. I know we're getting towards the end of our conversation. World Champs 2023. You can just give us a bit of a review on what happened. I know you got a bronze, beautiful bronze, and then after that, Paris 2024. Game plan going into Paris.
Yeah, so before Paris, we have another World Champs happening now in May. So the
back to back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a World Champs that was postponed from 2021 because of COVID.
Okay, COVID.
So we have World Champs and Paralympics in the same year. So it's a difficult year.
Same venue?
No, it was in Kobe, Japan. World Champs. So World Champs is in Kobe.
Yeah.
Which is 17th or the 25th of May.
Yeah.
So it's around the corner. It's an interesting year for your Paralympians because we have two major events in the same year. Bronze last year's World Champs, and now prepping for this year's World Champs. It's going well.
Yeah.
All my markers for the season are looking like we're on track.
Yeah.
I opened the season last year with my best season opener and my best nationals a few weeks ago that I ever had.
Yeah.
So prep for Worlds is going well. Would love to improve on my bronze medal.
Yeah.
Currently ranked number 2 in the world.
Nice.
So might want to just reclaim top spot, hopefully. Yes. But then, obviously the major focus is on the Paralympics in August, end of August.
Yeah.
So yeah, big focus on the Paralympics, and I think the most important thing for me after Worlds is coming back, staying fresh, staying healthy.
Yeah.
We'll most likely do a couple of weeks in Europe for like a training camp at some
Okay.
smaller competitions just to keep competition fit.
Yeah.
And then yeah, hopefully all the stars align and we can have a big throw at the Paralympics, and the goal is to win gold.
Yeah.
I'm not going there for anything less.
100%.
But most importantly to enjoy myself and yeah, embrace the opportunity. Gonna be excited because the fiance is going to be in Paris as
Nice,
well.
nice.
So ja, it's
So jy
gonna,
doen dit soos die bokke. Bokke vat hulle familie saam.
ja, ek moet net self betaal. My fiance moet self betaal.
Sure. Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to compete in front of fans also for the first time, because Tokyo was during COVID, there was no fans in the stadium.
Het hulle stickers gehad, hy cardboards.
They made like graphics on the seats, so it wasn't the same. So
Hulle daarom 'n sound gespeel, 'n acoustic, nothing.
you're so in the zone, you don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be nice competing in front of a packed stadium,
beautiful,
packed stadium again, and yeah, hopefully express myself in the ring. And
Check, yeah, I just want to ask you, man. So you won the bronze last year at the World Champs. The guys that got silver and gold, how's the relationship? Is it like still rivalry? You know, obviously a rivalry when you're competing, but like when you guys now, okay, you got your positions, you ranked, you guys are right with each other. You make friends, you know, that type of thing is there.
Yeah, I think the majority of us are fine. Like the guy who came, the guy who came second and first. We pretty much fine with each other. We speak after the time or before the time, and so there's not really animosity or negativity towards each other. Obviously, when you're in that throwing time, it's business as usual. And then afterwards, you can be friends. But yeah, I think this year I'm not going to worry too much about the rest of them. I'm going out there to do my best, 100%. Enjoy myself there, and they must fight for second.
Sure. Nice, man. Beautiful. Okay, Kerwin. Yeah, so we're definitely at the end of our conversation. I just want just a word of encouragement for you, man, from you for the audience, the viewers, anyone that's watching this.
I think for me, not recently, but the last couple of years just cemented my idea of, people usually have plan A, B, and C's, but I don't think you can really achieve your true goals and true dreams if you splitting your eggs in different baskets. So I have the theory, I heard it somewhere, where I put all my eggs in one basket. If the eggs run out, I can always get more eggs, but I don't want many baskets. So I put all my focus on one specific thing, and if you feel that's your purpose, if you feel it's your calling and your dream, and it's the only thing you want to achieve in life, stick through it, keep your head down, work hard, and the rest will come from itself. And I feel like I'm testament to that, and that's the advice I would love to leave the rest of the public. And hopefully for my kids one day, not anytime soon, but one day, is if you have a goal, stick to it. Don't let anyone say you can't do it. I've been proving people wrong my entire life, and I enjoy it. Knuckle down, have one goal that you want to achieve, and go out there and do everything to make it happen.
Sure. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. A man with lots of wise words, eh? Kerwin, my man, before I just want to give you, the Americans, they talk about giving your flowers while you're alive, Just want to give you your flowers, brother, man. You were definitely a true testament, professional, humble individual, champion, way back. But you definitely, I just want to thank you, man, for your time. Firstly, you when we barely knew each other, acquaintances, you gave me your time, and we had a good conversation. And today you stepped on again, episode 25 from episode 3, I think. And you just jumped on again. You're definitely a friend of the show, my man. And I want to wish you all of the best for the Paralympic Games. I have no doubt in my mind that you'll go out and go for gold, my brother. And I believe this will be one of the best years of your career thus far. And just keep pushing, my brother, man.
Thank you, Jair. I appreciate it. We really appreciate the support. There's not many people who support us, so all the support we can get, we appreciate and we cherish. And you'll be along for the ride.
All right, Kerwin, any sponsors you want to thank?
Um, I'll start off by obviously Seskok for the contributions that they are making in the recent months to the journey.
Yeah.
And then also Marty's Sport for their assistance with SNC and some medical stuff like physio and massages. And then also Raylan from Puma, who helps out with apparel, which is always helpful. And then Marty's Gym as well, making a very valuable contribution to the journey.
Yeah. That's episode 25, guys. Special thank you to Marty's Gymnasium, Momento Photography, and Kerwin Noemdo. See you guys next time.